Hey everyone, hey data analyst in the building, data analyst in Amdo Analytics. Good to have you guys here once again. How's your Power BI Capstone project? I can't wait to meet all of you. So moving on to the next phase of the program, you are going to be learning how to query data, how to query a database using SQL. So SQL stands for Structured Query Language, and it's the language that is used to query database. Now, a database is like a warehouse of data, of multiple data from different sources in one warehouse. Let's just call database a warehouse, right? A storage where you put your data, just like your Excel workbook. An Excel workbook can have multiple worksheets, right? So let's say our database is an Excel workbook and there are different worksheets in our database. So basically that is just how it is. So a brief introduction of myself. My name is Sandra Shagade and I'm going to be your facilitator for this part of the program. All right. So we're going to be installing PostgreSQL. PostgreSQL is one of the many DBMS that data analysts, database administrators use to query their database. So a DBMS stands for Database Management System. It's a system that lets you input SQL queries to get results from your data and to do other things that you can do in your database, like create database, create tables, insert information into those tables, manipulate your database, your data, and all of those things. All right, so I'm going to show you how to install PostgreSQL. All right, so PostgreSQL is actually a very nice system. It has a nice interface. It is user friendly. It gives you that tech feel. It gives you like a programmer feel. It makes you feel like a programmer. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, and then I'm going to come back here to my browser. How do you download Postgre? First of all, you go to your browser and then you type in PostgreSQL. All right, so I'm going to click on downloads. Okay. All right. So when I clicked on download, it brought me to this page, to the downloads page. So here you can see different operating systems. So depending on whatever operating system you are using. So I use a Windows. So if you're using a MacBook, you click on Mac. So I'm using a Windows. I'm going to click on Windows. And then it brought me to this installers page. So I'm going to click on download the installer. And then it's going to bring me to this page where you see different Postgre SQL version. We have 16.3, which is the latest version. So I don't want this. I'm going to download 15.7. All right. So notwithstanding, I'm also going to share with you my because I've downloaded these installers before. So I'm also going to share, along with this video, I'm also going to share with you the installer, just in case. All right. So just in case you find this hard, I'm going to share with you the installer. All right. But this is actually a very simple, straightforward process. Okay. So I'm going to download, I'll recommend that you download 15.7 because the installer I have is 15.6. So just make sure you download this, all right? So I'm going to come here to Windows 86 times 64 bits, and I'll click on this download icon for 15.7. So if you're using a MacBook, you come here to Mac and download it. So I'm going to come here to Windows and click on the download icon. All right, so to take me to this new page that says your download should begin in a few seconds, and it has already started. Okay, so I already, like I said, I have it in, I don't have it installed yet, but I have the installer downloaded. So I'm going to cancel this. But if you don't have yours downloaded, make sure you wait for it to download till the very end. So I'm going to go to the folder where my installer is. So yours will be in your downloads. All right. So mine is in my setup folder. I created a folder for all my setup files for all my installers. Like I have Power BI installer and all of that. So I'm going to come here and I'll click on PostgreSQL -15.6-1 Windows times 64. I'll double click on it. Okay, and then it wants me to grant user access or user control. So yes. So I'm just waiting for a small pop-up. All right, so we have the pop-up here. It says setup. So this is what will allow us to set up our installer or to install our installer. All right, so I'm going to click on next and I'll leave it like this. This is the default directory. Okay, so I'll just click on next. So everything is selected except stack. Everything is selected, but I'm going to unselect stack builders. So stack builders are for like if you are a developer, like you're building things, building objects in PostgreSQL, they can, select it, but we're not building objects. All right. So I'm okay. So my network threw me out. So I'm going to share my screen again. All right, so my network threw me out. So when I open when I double click on Postgre, it will bring out this setup for me, right? So I will select Start Builder and click on Next and click on Next again. And then it is going to ask for a password. So make sure you put in a password you can remember. So for me, I'll put in 12345 because it's simple, 12345, and then click Next. And next, next, and next. So setup is now ready to begin installing PostgreSQL on your computer. So I'll click on next. So right now it is installing the setup. It is installing PostgreSQL on my computer. It is installing everything. So what I'll do now is I'll pause this recording, then continue the recording when it is done installing so that I do not make this video to be longer than it is supposed to be. All right. All right. So I'm just going to pause the recording. All right. So we are back. So sorry if I'm actually screaming at the top of my voice. It's because I'm trying to speak out loud. It's raining right now, so I'm trying to speak out loud so that you can all hear me. All right, so now the setup has finished installing PostgreSQL on my computer. I'm going to click on the finish button. So we're not done. How do we see or how do we start writing our queries? What is the interface? What environment are we going to write our queries in? That is where PG admin comes in. So I'm going to come here and type in PG admin. So you can see PG admin 4, right? So PostgreSQL is just the language, or it's just the server and the language. It needs a body where it can function. And that is where PG admin comes in. Remember when we were selecting components that we want to install, I selected PG admin. and unselected stack builder, right? Because pgadmin is very, very crucial. So I'm going to open pgadmin. All right, so I'm going to open pgadmin, and you can see this pop up here. It says waiting for pgadmin 4 to start. So this can take at least 2 minutes, right? Or at least 1 minute. It depends on how fast your operating system or your system is. So I'm just going to wait for this to start up. All right, so my pgadmin has started. Now, the reason why this particular screen is just showing blank is because, all right, so the reason why this screen is showing blank is because, so I've actually installed this before and I removed, there are things that you will see here. So when you are doing yours, you will see this thing. Now you can't see it on my screen, right? Because I've removed them. Okay, so I'm going to come here to servers and expand it. So it's possible when you do this, you will be asked to enter a password. So remember that password that you inputted at first. In my own case, I did 12345. So that should be the password that you should input whenever you are asked to input that password, or yeah, whenever you're asked to input that password, that should be what you should input. All right, so this is all I need you to do for now. No long thing. As long as you've successfully made it to this point of opening your pgadmin 4, we are good to go. So see you guys in class on Saturday. Please make sure that you watch this video and get your pgadmin 4 or get your PostgreSQL installed before the class. All right. Although the class is going to be an introduction class, but we might get to do some practical things before our main class on Sunday. So I really, really do hope to see you guys, see all your beautiful faces. All right. So you can just close this if you're not going to. So I'm going to come here to the top right and close it. So that is how you download and install the PostgreSQL server together with the pgadmin 4, which is its DBMS. All right, so don't worry, when we start our introduction class, you get to know what DBMS means. You get to know a lot of terms in SQL. All right, so take care and bye.